The Act on Alzheimer's Dementia Capable Communities Toolkit is designed to help your community create a plan to become dementia capable, a community that is informed, safe, and respectful of individuals with the disease, their families, and caregivers, and provides supportive options that foster quality of life. This video explains how to plot data into grids so your team can see its priorities for developing an action plan. Your action team will use the key element question matrices to analyze the data gathered during the assess phase. These grids will create a picture of response patterns to help you determine priorities to act on Alzheimer's. When the team has completed its interviews, you will combine responses from the 14 sector-based surveys. For each opinion question, you will use one key element question matrix and plot all responses into the grid. The bottom row will show your community's strengths, where there is already a high level of activity. When you find areas that the community rates high in, take a moment to recognize the progress already made. The top row will show where your community may have gaps. There is a low level of activity for these key elements. This may indicate opportunities for action. The left-hand column will show where your community has identified key elements that are currently a low priority for action. The right-hand column will show where your community has identified key elements that are currently high priority for action. The upper right quadrant, low level of activity, high priority, is the area where your community will have the best opportunity to facilitate change and move toward its vision of being dementia capable. The lower right quadrant, high level of activity, high priority, is the area where your community can continue to build on its successes. If your action team wants to show early success, this may be an area to focus on. You will take the responses from all of the surveys and plot them into the matrix for each question. In the example shown, question 28 applies to 6 sectors: adult day programs, residential settings, ancillary healthcare providers, clinics, home health agencies, and hospitals. Once all the data is plotted, you'll be looking to see if any patterns emerge to guide your action planning process. We'll use an example to show you how. To plot responses on the matrix, find the interviewee's response on the vertical axis, level of activity, then on the horizontal axis, priority rating. Draw imaginary lines from each response into the matrix. Where the lines meet, plot the interviewee code in the box. This is the code you would have previously assigned during the assess phase. The code is entered on each survey, such as RS1 for the example shown. This represents the first residential survey conducted. Do this for each survey that includes this question. Refer to the grid that cross-references the key elements or assessment sections by sector-based survey. In this example from an action team, patterns started emerging. Your action team will compile all of the resource inventory information and narrative responses from the interviews. This includes feedback on barriers and opportunities related to each key element. When sharing results of the assessment process, use this information to further illustrate the priorities revealed by the matrices. The Toolkit on the Act on Alzheimer's website has many resources to support your community during the analyze phase. Thank you for taking this step to act on Alzheimer's.